I want to welcome everybody wherever you may be coming from, wherever you're watching this, whether you're watching it live or on our YouTube channel. We are the Jollies, and we are welcoming you to the Jolley Marriage Show. I'm Dr. Willie Jolley, and this is my beautiful bride, Dee. We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married for 38 years. Haven't had an argument in over 35 years. Even in vacationing, we are, I got a little bit of a minute. Even in vacationing, we don't argue. We just have a great time together. We date, and I rev up on her.
That's because I'm following your lead, and I don't complain because I never know what you're going to do.
You don't know what's going to happen next. That's one thing.
That's a decision I made.
That's right. And we have had quite some experiences.
It's been quite a journey. Yes. So
this is a new year. We're welcoming about New Year. Now, one of the things we talk about every year, and I talked about this morning on Fox 5 TV show here in Washington, D.C. I'll talk tomorrow morning on Virginia Today in Richmond. We're doing it virtually. And we're doing a number of interviews this week about the beginning of the new year. We talk about goals.
Versus resolutions.
What's
the difference?
Well, many people at the beginning of the year, they make resolutions. And the problem is that they don't last. They
Why not?
Because they have no real substance. They don't have any real, no real fullness.
Because you can't measure them.
Well, there are a number of reasons you can't measure them. They're usually not specific. But they are feel good, and they're not written. Most times they're not written. And so they're feel good things that people do. Hey, great, because there are feel good things that they do at the beginning of the year. And then by the 21st, 25th, they're gone. And you don't remember when you're into your new year and doing the same things you did last year. And so,
how do you not do that?
Greg and Linda are home this week. Thank you, and glad. Here's how you don't do it. And thank you, Cherise. She said you give so much hope and love and being fully loved and seen. Amen. We saw your great pictures, by the way, Cherise. Thank you for sharing of your family. And so what we want to do is we want to talk about how to build great marriages by being able to get past resolutions, get to powerful, empowering goals that will change your marriage. It impacted our marriage. And now we do it every year, and we make it a part of our
It's
routine.
Not really just every year, though, because it's an ongoing. That's why I made up that word goaling, because it's something that's ongoing. So
that's a brilliant word, by the way. Brilliant.
It's you make it a big deal at the beginning of the year. The ball drops, Tiffany, is that what it is? The Tiffany ball drops in New York, and Crystal. And everybody's all excited. But it's the beginning of the work for what you want to do for the year. And so it's not just you write them, which is the difference between the resolutions versus the goals. And you set a deadline, but then you got to work on them. So that goaling, it's ongoing all year long. So we're going to talk about how to keep it going all year long to achieve your goals.
We haven't finished telling them the difference. You jumped right into it.
Sorry.
Because you get so excited. Because she came up with this word. It's a great word. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
She's a brilliant girl.
All right, so let's get back.
So resolutions are feel good. You do it at the beginning of the year. While goals have substance. And for a goal to be a goal, it must have 5 quantities or characteristics. The first one is it must be specific. You must have a specific. I want to make more money this year. How much more money? What's the number? Then it must be measurable. Well, I want to be happy. Well, how do you measure happiness? Okay. And then, so you're specific, you're measurable. Achievable is something that's in the realm of possibility. And then
give an example of achievable versus not achievable.
Okay. You want to make $1 billion in the next week or the next month.
Maybe if I rob the bank, I could do it.
You have to rob a big old bank for $1 billion.
And get away with it.
$1 billion? All right. That's not achievable. Okay. I'll give you a better one. Now, let me give you a better one. The Washington football team lost the game yesterday and got knocked out of the playoffs because they have quarterback issues. let's say I said, I'm going to go out and become the quarterback for the Washington football team so I can take them to the Super Bowl. Okay. I've never played football in my life, or other than sandlot football. I've never played on a team. I've never had any pads on. Now I'm going to go out and do that. That's a goal I would say that's not achievable.
Okay.
And it's also the next one, not realistic. So it must be realistic, achievable and realistic, and then relevant. We like to use the word relevant for that R, because relevant means it has some meaning to you. That it really does. It's important, not just to make money. Why do you want to make money? That gives you a meaning. Les Brown said the reason he wanted to make money initially was buy his mom a house because she had never had her own home she owned. Everett Hall, the great clothes designer, said the reason why he's successful as a clothes designer because he wants to honor his father who died working in the factory to make sure his sons could have the materials. So
relevant is really your why.
Your why.
You want to do
why?
This.
What keeps you going? Because there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be problems. So what keeps you going? It got to be relevant. And then time bound. T is for time bound. So smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, realistic, and then time bound. And so we want it to be smart.
So what you're saying is a resolution is like a puff of smoke. Poof. And goals are smart.
They are smart. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I got to speak out to a quick shout out to my friend Mark William. We met at AU. He's a great songwriter, great pianist and songwriter. We did lots of music. He's just jumped on. Kareem Jackson, Kansas City, Missouri. In the Philippines. And I am here for it. Okay. So he has something we're going to talk about. He can ask some questions. Read that while I'm finishing up. And so we're going to talk about goal setting and how we do that. And we even had my friend Damon John from Shark Tank, who was on my Sirius XM show. I encourage you to listen to that podcast. He talks about goal setting and how it took him from working in Red Lobster to starting FUBU to starting a empire and building an empire, and how he was able to do it with goal setting. And now he talks about how he and his wife set goals every year and how it is the sexiest part of their marriage. The sexiest part of their marriage is setting the goals. Goal setting. It's powerful. And we're going to talk about it with you, how we do it here in our marriage.
Honey, can you get
you want to go back up a little bit?
A little. I'm not sure what Kareem is saying. Okay, I'm going to cancel.
All right.
Okay. New phase of my life. Retiring from my 25+ year business, turning it over to my partner. And going 100%.
Okay. Hello, let's see. That's Sidoni Brown.
Welcome.
Sidoni Brown. Yeah. Hey. Hello. So let's talk about these goals. And again.
Are you ready?
Huh? I'm going to talk about the goals. Okay. We're going to get to that though. Before we'll do that at the dose of D. I'll give you a little time to think about it. I know you got a position. You got a position on it.
No, I'm not. I don't understand what the problem is. He adjusting to the fact he's turning the business over, or is that
maybe we need to have more input,
a little more background.
Yeah. We can talk about that issue. Right. Let's see, brother Kareem. We just need a little more data
as to what your issue is of letting go. Is that the issue?
Well, there's more. Oh, okay. They want us to. So great. Now we got it. Okay. All right. Now we got it. So let me tell you more about our goal setting and the fact that we want to help you set goals that are sexy, that are powerful, that are important, that are meaningful, and that will empower your relationship. We do it every year. Now, how do we do it? We do our individual goals. I do my goals. And then she does her goals, and then
we do them at the same time.
Yeah, but
writing down.
Yeah, but we do separate goals.
Yes.
Okay, because there's certain things you want, I want, and then we do our goals as a couple, and it's powerful, and what we're trying to achieve, and it's been great. Great.
Here's a visual. So your relationship is like the heart. Okay.
Yeah.
One on the right and one on the left. I know I created that before.
Yeah. And you did that. See, you create so much stuff.
I know. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's the education in me. Okay. So you each have a side. And you write down what your goals are, which is really what we do at the beginning of the year. What is important to Dee? What is important to Willie? And we simply write it down.
Right.
Then we come together and we share. Here's what's on my list. Here's what's on your list. And you think about that for a while. And where does that intersect?
Mm-hmm.
Where are your commonalities? Where does that intersect? That you both share the same things. Like our house goals, personal goals, pay off a house.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can get into the financials of it based on your tax bracket and whether or not you should do that based upon what your CPA and everybody else, your financial people say. But I tend to go along with Dave Ramsey in the sense that what is it that makes you feel secure?
Right.
Really secure, decent. For me, paying off the house gives me a measure of security. So it's not just when you're writing the goals, it's an emotional thing also. So we know that that's important to Dee.
Right.
It becomes important to Willie. So that is our joint personal goals, right?
Right.
Now on Willie's list, he also has, is that about the plane? You want to?
I got a lot of my goals are very vast, and I was
and some are very different.
Very different.
I have no interest in the personal plane, nothing. But
a jet.
I am
Put my name on it.
aware.
She's aware of it. That a jet with my name on it.
What is this? I love this meme or whatever it is, because that's how you make me feel sometimes. But I'm aware of what is important to him. If he wants that's fine. Okay. So I'm not opposed to it. That's not number one or number two on my list.
Right.
So what we then come up with in the center of that heart. So he has his written down. I have mine written down. And then in the center, we write down, this is what we do jointly.
Right.
Right.
Now this is a goal.
And that's how you support each other.
This was a goal that we set out to do. The first book that we written together and that we published. That is our publishing brand, Jolley Publishing. Okay, this is the Jolley Life Publishing LLC.
But you know what? That's really a good exercise to talk about, because when we started to write the book at the suggestion of our son, we won't go through all of that, but we attempted. We knew what was of value to us, like the being friends first. We agreed to those things, but we tried to write it together. That did not work.
Ooh, no, it did not work.
While we have the same values and we agree on the principles, the details of how we got to our end results were very different.
Yeah.
So after we kind of stumbled to something like
that,
and we write differently.
Right.
So here's the principle.
Here's the principle. I wrote my take on it.
Yes.
Then she wrote her, while she was writing her take on it.
Right.
And then we put them together in the book. And that's how we have the 10 secrets. And each one of us has a take on it. And sometimes it overlaps and sometimes it's slightly different. Now,
we agree on the principle.
We agree on the principle.
So what does that say? It is good. We do agree.
Yeah.
But we're two distinctly different people who love each other.
Yeah.
And who respect each other's differences. But the principles of how we move our lives forward together are the same. So,
right.
Your heart half, this is important, goals. Here's mine. And then in the center, we agree as to what those primary goals are that we're going to go forward together. But also, when you know what is important to the other person that might not be on your list, then you can also have empathy and be supportive of that thing that they want that you might not be as enthusiastic about. Does that make sense?
Yes. So, Goals. So here's what we want to help you do. Couples. We want you to do a couple things. We only got a few minutes to try and get this in. We want you to first do what Dee just said. We want you to take some time out and to start thinking, because goal setting is a cognitive exercise and action, and it's hard work. And most people don't set goals because it's hard work. They don't know how to, and or those two, they don't. It's hard work and they don't know how to, or they don't have anybody to coach them through the process. So if you're a couple or if you're single and you want to set some power goals, you go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com, to our goal setting, goal achieving class. It's a class that we did here some years ago now, and we recorded it, and it's about 3 hours. And you do it with your mate, your significant other, your family members. Watch it. We got some really direct and great exercises to help you to dream big, because a goal is a dream with a deadline. That's really what it is. Write that one down. A goal is a dream with a deadline. And so once you get your goal and you get past your resolutions, we're not doing resolution, we're going to do some goals, and that's a dream with a deadline. You got to start by dreaming. And believe it or not, many people have a hard time dreaming. They really do. So I make them go and push them and coach them and be accountable to them to help them to dream bigger and bigger than they even think they can. And so we help them to dream bigger. Then we help them to take those dreams and break them down into goals. And then we help them make the goals smart. And it is a tremendous process. I want to encourage you to go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com. Look for the goal setting achieving class. Now, one of the things I tell people is, why is it important to have a goal? If I took a baseball and I gave it to each one of you and said, okay, find the closest wall to wherever you're seated, standing, closest to you. And our closest wall would be, let's say the one behind me. And I say, hit the wall. Can you hit the wall with the baseball that's closest to you? Yeah. Bam. Okay, great. Now, let's say I take the same baseball, put it in your hand, but this time I put a blindfold over you, and I turn you around and turn you around and turn you around, turn you around, turn you around, till you don't know which way you're facing. You have a blindfold on. Is it still easy like it was before to hit the wall? No. Why? Because you can't hit what you can't see. That's right. More importantly, you can't hit what you don't know. If you don't know what your goal is, how are you going to know when you hit it? How are you going to know what it is? How are you going to know where you're going after? That's why every great team has a goal to win the championship. Every architect sets a goal to build a building. He makes a blueprint. He makes a plan. Sometimes they have to change it. When we were renovating this house, we had to change the plans a couple of times. The doors had to go different directions than we had planned originally. We had to give it more space. It wasn't, but we made adjustments. That's how it goes setting. And that's what we'll help you do in this program, this class. And I want to encourage everybody to take that and do it. It's worth the investment.
The goaling program, it makes a difference if you're married or not. That particular one says, what are you each thinking?
Right. That's right.
What are the goals for each of you? What we're looking at doing with a couple's goaling is actually to have a live something.
Yeah, she mentioned to me, we're going to have a live overnight event.
Something that's fun.
Yeah.
But
2 days, really, it's a 2 day.
To work like on how do you mesh what is important for you as a couple and not dismiss your individuality.
How you keep now, real quick, 2 things. So look, we're going to do that. If you're interested, you'll get more information.
You know what? If you're interested in, and it should be the end of February, send us an email just at info@williejolly.com and says goals, and just say goals for 2.
Yeah. Oh, goal setting. Goal setting event. Okay. Or marriage event. Okay. I don't know, but we're going to be goal setting. We're going to talk about the 10 steps in a marriage. We're going to really, really build up and grow some marriages. So many people sent emails last week about the book that the bishop and his wife put together and talked about. Last week we replayed an interview we did, 7, 8, 9 years ago with
I
Bishop.
don't think it was that long.
I don't know how long ago, but Bishop.
Maybe 4 or 5 years.
Not Smallwood. Bishop Harvey Lewis Sr. and his wife, First Lady. And they have this marriage.
His prime rib.
His prime rib. He says he don't have a spare rib. He has a prime rib, only rib. She's the prime rib. And so many people, we bought copies of this book. We bought copies because we knew it was going to do that work last year, when we interviewed. And we have copies. If you like a copy and you want to order one, send us an email. Again, info@williejolly.com. Say Bishop Book. That's the easy way to know. Bishop Book. And now let me talk to your brother.
So what you're saying, info, and if they want the
info
Bishop,
at WILLIEJOLLEY.com. Say I want to, because it's not on our website. Info at Willie Jolly. Say interested in the Bishop Book, and we'll tell you
Bishop Book,
and we'll tell you how much it cost is for shipping and all of that. It's a great book, great book.
So what it really is a series of messages, a message for each day.
That's right.
That's really what it is.
That's right. So therefore, next, Kareem, let me talk about you for a second. In a few minutes we got, let's see. Okay, let me see. Okay, Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, retiring. Okay. And you're going in 100% into your great media show business. So your partner is now replacing your CEO. That's great. If y'all are able to work together and grow this together, that sometimes takes time, and we want to say that. Took time for us to learn who was going to do what, and now
who is good at what.
Who's good at what. And you want to implement the goal setting in a relationship and business. We highly recommend that goal setting class. That's first for both of you. And then the goal to make that jump from running a business to this new endeavor, you've got to set your goals, and then you got to work on your mindset. One of the things I talked about this morning on the TV show was how important mindset is in any endeavor and your success. My success of going from a nightclub singer to becoming a speaker and a radio show host and an author was a shift of my mindset. And your mindset is determined by your inputs. Inputs determine outputs. You want to make sure that you have the inputs. What are you reading? What are you working on? And you say, yeah, I've been working on it for a number of years, and that's great. Now, but you've got to walk away, because you're going to take your energy now and do something else. Are you willing to let your partner run it differently? That's the question. And
what does that, when you say run it differently, what does that really look like? Is that, and I know you're going to say, D, you're in the weeds. That becomes very important depending upon the type of leader that Kareem has been. Does he need to have a reporting weekly, monthly?
He's walking away.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
say that.
That's why I said.
What does that mean?
That's why I said, is he willing? That I already saw that coming like a left hook. Okay. Are you willing to hand this over and then go on and let your partner run it the way that your partner wants to run it? Okay. Yes or no? Because you're going to be dilly-dallying in there and say, well, you should do. No! All right? You've got to be willing to say.
How often does he need to get a P&L, a profit and loss statement?
He is letting them run it. He's moving on to a different thing. He's handing over the reins. He is letting, you remember like Marissa and her, all right? She had to let it go. That's the question. Now, I'm not saying.
What does let it go
I
mean?
don't know if he got that capacity. That if this is baby, okay, if this is my baby, now I'm gonna let you do it, or are you gonna be in there kind of? I think I would do it different. Now, see, that's where the problem is. So you got to be talking through that communication. You know, we talk about communication often and big and bold in this book.
And what does?
So you have the book, by the way.
What does communication?
One for you and one for you.
And what does the communication mean? Because when we talk about communication, we had to go through what does it mean to effectively communicate with you versus you're communicating with me. Because you know I'm detailed. You happy with the big picture?
I'm macro. She's micro. I'm big thinker. She's
and so
small.
he says, well, we're gonna and certain things have to
He
work.
said he's walking away. Okay, I want to see that. Okay, that's what it's going to take. You got to be willing to walk away and work on your other business and there'll be some growing pains on that other side. Okay, the growing pains on the new side and growing pains for your partner running it the way.
He's not going to ask about the profit and loss.
No, he said he's walking away. I mean, he keeps saying he walk. You keep coming back to he's gonna put his foot in there, and I'm saying he says that's one thing. Let's see if that happens. Okay. Now, mindset: input determines output. Input determines output. So set your goals. We want you to take the goal setting so y'all can make sure. Go to winwithwillie.com, and then you got to have 2 copies of the marriage book because this is where marriages get strained in businesses. Remember, a marriage is in chapter number 10. Money matters. That marriages are not just love relationships; they're also business relationships.
It's a business relationship.
Okay,
and it's the learning of the terminology and what does that mean for each person.
And it's a merger. It's a merger of 2 entities to create another one. Okay. Let's see. I'll walk away and get just a commission when I bring in business as ever. Well. Okay. All right. Okay. All of this sounds good on paper, but there are emotions that go into this, so you got to make sure everybody's clear, very clear.
And you need what's that word I like? You need a
MOU, a memorandum of understanding.
A memorandum
written
of
down.
Understanding.
Yes, indeed.
So both sides know exactly what the other side means when they say I'm walking away. That's
right. It's got to be very clear. Okay.
And then I know I'm like, oh, you're not giving me a report. I might walk away, but
he already said he can't be the CEO and get a report if he had a CEO to somebody else. He's not the CEO anymore. He's doing a different business. He's not. You keep coming back to that.
All right, dear. All right. I'm going to try to let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I'm trying.
Oh, look, look. We probably need to do a second show on this, on goal setting. We may do it next week.
What does that mean? But all the goal setting, I think it's hot. It's important now because it's the beginning.
You got to do it now. Yeah, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it.
Let's get it all out, all questions, and it's ongoing.
Okay, last question. He said, the hard part is to make the jump into the new show and media, and the spouse is disconnected. I'm reading 2 things. Is that the jump in the new show and media position like you did? That's a separate conversation that maybe I can coach you through. I take a couple coaching clients a year to help people to grow the business.
That's a whole different animal because see, you got to look at the backside.
All right,
you don't know the backside.
So we can talk. You can send an email again to info@williejolly.com and we can talk about that. Let's see. One other person. What happened when one spouse is operating a business and the other spouse is disconnected emotionally? Well, that's another question.
What does that mean? Does it mean emotionally not interested?
Is the other spouse a partner, or is the other spouse involved, an investor, or are they just like, I ain't interested? We have had a speaker friend of ours who now lives, who moved recently. His wife died. You know what I'm talking about? Who came to dinner for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
right. Whose wife was not feeling his speaking business. And she never participated. She never heard him speak in like 20 years. But that was not her interest. She did not love him because of that. That was not part of their marriage relationship when they got married. So she wasn't connected to it at all, emotionally disconnected. But he went on to build a very successful business, and she did her business.
But it doesn't mean that she didn't love him.
That's right. And there you go. She was supportive
in
other areas. And that's what she loved him. She was supportive of him as a person. Right. She just wasn't interested in their business. Right. So I don't know whether y'all are ever y'all partners. If you're partners and one is disconnected, then that's a problem. But if you got your business, the other one doing their thing, then y'all got communication. You again goes back to communication.
So then I would say, what does it mean when you say disconnected?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because disconnected.
I wonder where you were, Terrence, because we were wondering where you were. Welcome. Okay.
So for me, if you said disconnected, I really wasn't involved in Willie's
business initially
when I was working on
yeah
on Capitol Hill, and I worked for a lot. It didn't make sense to me. But when he kept saying, you should come work with me,
so
he wooed me. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but I'm saying I was supportive of him because
I see their question now. I see their question. Their question is, and it's coming up over and over again. Here's the question. Spouse is not feeling involved, thinking, concerned, or whatever word. She wasn't interested. No. Dee was disconnected in my wanting her to be an entrepreneur. Oh, no. Disconnected. Not happening. One, she had a good government job. She was in there.
But I was supportive.
She was supporting me as an entrepreneur, but she
in
wasn't involved in it. She wasn't involved in it.
When I say supportive, let me just say.
Let me finish the thought. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought, and then you can say, because my thought is going to impact what you say. All right. Here's the thing. I sold her. I sold her on the dream. I sold her on the bigger vision. I didn't try and make her do it. I didn't try and coerce her. I sold her. I didn't push it on her. I didn't make her. I didn't badger. I would say, here's this cassette tape. Okay, here's this cassette tape. I just heard it. I thought it was good. But I like your particular.
Or you would say, come hang out with me at whatever.
Yeah, let's go.
And it might be something that was enlightening.
Yeah, right.
But you never said you really need to do this.
I never said you need this.
But in terms of, I think we have to define what indifference means. I'm supportive of my husband. I didn't really understand what all that speaking stuff was about. Honestly, I really didn't understand why people sang for a living. That shows you how much I loved him as I was
a singer before I became a speaker.
He was a singer. He sang for himself. I was like, oh my God.
She didn't like music, no. But
I had never, the whole thing is like, what? And then you get paid in cash. And then we had to, oh my God. So, but I loved him enough to say, okay, we're gonna work this out. So I didn't have an interest in the music stuff because I didn't really understand how that worked. And then from there to this whole speaking thing that you was all excited about and wanted to tell me about. So at least I listened because I cared about him. But did I have a desire to be an entrepreneur? No, because I didn't understand it. But little by little.
It's little by little. That's what I want to say to our sister who's asking about supportive, not interested, and don't worry about that. Do your thing. Let them do their thing. Just work on your relationship. Don't let it don't have to look. No one says it has to be y'all working in this business. No one says that one thing. Look, don't let somebody else's model become.
That's so very important. Yeah, you create your own model that will work for you.
One side does not fit all. Just let them and sell them on the big vision. Sell them. It's little by little. I sold her. What do you think about this book? Think and Grow Rich. What do you think about this? The Strangest Secret. Tell me your thoughts about it. I like your opinion on it.
Well, he would explain certain things to me, and because I loved him, and he would be excited.
But I wasn't trying to make her an entrepreneur initially. It took time. That was my long-term vision. My girl. Let me say. Look at this ring. Look at this ring. New ring. Because we are entrepreneurs. It took time. That car out there, okay? Yeah, that car out there she drives. Nice car. And so it's because we are entrepreneurs. But it didn't happen overnight. Little by little, inch by inch. Anything's essential. We are way over time.
And I keep saying, if you love the person and they're your best friend, you tend to be patient. You're working at understanding because with your best friend, you want to understand more about them. Yeah. Because you genuinely care about them.
We're going way over time tonight. Look, but this was good. This was good. Terrence, this was a good one. Y'all want to share this one with your friends and family members. Let everybody know we've dealt with some real issues. And tell people to join us on Monday nights. We are going to have an event in February. We're going to get all the details. We'll let you know. what it is. And third is the book from the Bishop. We had so many people who asked about the Bishop book.
Info at WillieJolley.com.
Bishop book. And if you want to know about our event we're going to have in February, info at WillieJolley.com.
It's going to be in February because now I got to get
marriage event. Okay, we'll put you on the list. Okay, and then remember that you can still get the relationship repair series if you're having issues in your relationship at jolleymarriage.com/events, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jolley Marriage, it's a 5-part series with a bonus 6-part. We deal with hour on communication, hour on financial issues, followed on sex, hour on family, and a follow on blended family.
You provide so much, it becomes overwhelming.
Well, I got to give them if they don't know. How can I help them?
Yes.
I want to help folks. That's why we're doing this. All right, Kareem, you send us an email, info at WillieJolley.com. We'll capture yours as well. You capture that, D. Okay, and then Terrence, you're going to love this one. Share it with your folks. Happy New Year, everybody. And my prayer, I've been sending this out to everybody. Beloved, I wish above all things that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your souls prosper. One of my favorite scriptures. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health. I want you to have good health, and I want you to have good wealth. I want you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper, even as your spiritual part of you have prosperity in your finances, in your marriages, in your relationships, and you have great health, godly health. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, have a great New Year. We are back.
Happy New Year.
We had a great time away. We got some rest and some sun and fun and snorkeling and water and food. That grilled conch with the vegetables.
He's the foodie.
Ooh, I got to go on a diet. All right. Hey, God love y'all. God bless you. And may heaven smile upon you. We're going to go out with the music from our jazz album, from my jazz album, not hers, but my Close to You.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.